G'day guys, it's Jeff Ware here, BikeReview.com.au. We've finally got some sunshine. I've had this for nearly 2 weeks, the 2020 Kawasaki Ninja 1000 SX. It's been raining nearly the whole time, so it's great to get out and soak up a bit of sunshine. We're still in the COVID-19 period, and I think this is about my 20th bike in 3 months that I've reviewed. And I guess it's lucky to have this job and be able to get out and self-isolate on a motorcycle. Now, the Ninja 1000 SX is a lot of changes for 2020, and they're all good. It's a real improvement on the 2017 model, which was a pretty good bike in itself. But I'll quickly just run you through what's new on this model. The seat's higher, so we're up 20 mil. We've got a thicker, more comfy seat, and the rear of the bike is raised. Now, you might remember from 2010 to 2017, this was a really good handling motorcycle. But for some reason in 2017, Kawasaki did a whole bunch of upgrades and reinvented the bike, but also decided to lower it at the back. It didn't want to turn in anymore, and Kawasaki is still persevering with that old-fashioned 190/50 profile rear tyre. So for this model, Kawasaki have gone to a 4-into-1, which is lightweight, which is great. Stuck with the 190/50, but they have made some slight geometry changes to the bike. The rear's raised a little bit. I can't get that exact information out of Kawasaki. And some changes to the internals of the front suspension. It's just a little bit softer on compression. But those differences, and just the positioning of the weight on the bike has completely improved it and made it a lot better again. So it's back to its old good handling self, but actually even better. So it's got a real sporty feel to it now. It feels like a sports bike from a few years back. Fantastic. So there's some of the changes. It's also got a 4.5-inch TFT colour dash now, 4 riding modes. So it's got rain, road, sport, and it's got a rider one that you can set up yourself, turn the traction control off, or do whatever you want. It's got an IMU, so it's got the cornering ABS, it's got the cornering traction control, all those type of things. It's got an up and down quick shifter now, which makes a big difference, and a 4-way adjustable screen here, windscreen. And they're kind of just the major changes. It passes Euro 5 now, which is great, but it's still 140 horsepower. Still got that beautiful meaty engine. It's still got the remote reservoir shock and the remote preload adjustment on the rear and the fully adjustable front end. It's got Bridgestone S22 Hypersport tyres on it, which are a good tyre. Now this has the cam style chain adjuster in the swing arm. That could potentially be a reason why Kawasaki are persevering with the 50 profile tyre. I'm not sure, just for some clearance. But you just need to keep in mind as an owner, as your chain slackens and as you adjust your chain on this bike, it changes the geometry of it. And Kawasaki have had this system since way back with like the GPZ 900R. And back in the day, people used to turn that around to jack the rear up as well on those. It's got cruise control now. It's a really good system, easy to use. It's got the standard SX style switch blocks on it. So like being an SX now, it brings it up to that level like the H2. You could ride this thing around Australia, you could do track days on it. It's got a lean angle indicator on it, and I've had it up around 50 degrees or somewhere near there. I mean, it really, you can crank the thing over. If I had full leathers on the track, you'd easily be able to get your knee down. And you could tour on it, ride around Australia. It's a good pillion motorcycle, and it's a good commuter. So Kawasaki have really done a great job on the improvements on the bike. What's it like to ride? It's super smooth. It's got that beautiful punchy engine. It is a heavy bike, 235 kilograms. However, it carries it reasonably well. If you have a full tank of fuel, it's a 19-litre tank, so you've got a lot of weight there. And with that softer front end, you do have that feeling of, if your front tyre pressure's low, or that kind of wishy feeling at the lower speeds. But when you're on the move, it smooths out. The rear rebound control's not perfect, but it's still quite good. And you can really throw this into the corners more than the previous model. That's what I like about it. It falls in, it'll go on its side and it stays there, whereas the old model, as soon as you touch the brakes or hit a bump, it would stand up because of that rear end geometry issue it had. So this is a much more neutral bike. On or off the brakes into the corners, it'll turn in with agility and speed, but precision. It'll hold a line well, it'll sit on its side well, and it's smooth on the throttle, so off the turns it just tracks off the corners really nicely. Smooth roads or bumpy roads, it's a good ride. It's fabulous on the really bumpy stuff. I came through one of my really favourite bumpy back roads recently on it and pushed quite hard, and I'd say it was one of the best bikes I've ridden through there full stop, suspension-wise. Once it was sort of like halfway down in the stroke, you could just hit everything and hammer through there. It was unreal. Comfort-wise, there's virtually no vibrations, so freeway you can just keep riding and riding and riding. On the cruise control, the screen's not huge, but it's big enough. It's fine for me. I'm 187 centimetres. It just sort of hits the top of the helmet, so that's pretty good. The vibe-free handlebars, switch gears all easy, everything falls to hand nicely. The levers are adjustable, pegs are at a good height. Now with that extra seat height as well. So your legs aren't too flexed when you're sitting on it. Brakes are really powerful on this bike. It's got fantastic ABS, plenty of feel and control in the rear for manoeuvring at low speed or cornering. Lots of power in the front, 1 or 2 fingers normally. When you really get going, you can use 3 or 4. I use 4. Haven't had any brake fade on it, and that's with repeated hard braking over and over. So I'm super impressed with the brakes on the bike, especially the intimate feel and modulation into the corners to get the best out of the grip of that S22 front tyre. Fit and finish is nice on the machine, especially for the price range. Mirrors are good. They're a bit far forward and they're a long reach to adjust. That's a bit of an issue for me, but they fold, which is good. Bars are nice and high. The seating position is quite upright. Plenty of steering lock for U-turns. Gearbox is smooth. That quick shifter makes a huge difference and makes this bike a lot more fun than it could be. Sports tours are generally a fairly bland machine, but definitely not this one. It's exciting. Fantastic bike, great price point. I'm really happy Kawasaki have fixed the handling on this bike because honestly, the previous one, I think my end result was it has room for improvement and it was quite a low score because of the steering. So I'm stoked that they've fixed that. If you are after a sports touring style bike or a sporty bike, you're my age, I'm 45, sports bike background, but mainly on the road now. This is the kind of bike I like sort of go for. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, give us a like, leave a comment. All right, take it easy. See you later. Bye.